But if you notice, like, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. This girl touched him one time, he go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section.
Busta Rhymes is out here catching heat left and right. And the way these stories keep popping up is wild, because they're not coming from random strangers. They're coming from people who claim they were once in his circle. A former bodyguard recently came out saying Busta had some very questionable requests when it came to certain young men in his VIP section, and that alone sent social media into a frenzy.
They call them fun boys. They'll say, we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta.
What about Busta Rhymes? I've definitely seen quite a few people not too happy about your story about Busta Rhymes.
Ain't nobody saying nothing to me.
Never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin. And the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. Well, I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
If Busta ever try to front me, hit you with no delay, so what you saying, yo? Should have with that 9 milli, what the devil, yo? Yeah, I do his better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes' show. Cause look, man, if they try to say that if you ever thought that the Busta Rhymes was better than me, you crazy.
And I'm walking across the street and Busta Rhymes just grabbed my hand. And he holding my hand. Now I ain't know it was Busta at first. You know, Busta Rhymes tall. I'm sure I came up to about right here. So the first thing I noticed was this big ass flip mode chain that was blinding me. So I look at the chain and I'm like, and I look up, I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up?
Not Busta Rhymes out here getting put on blast as a super zest monster. And look, that ain't even me talking that straight from his own bodyguard's mouth.
I seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before.
Oh yeah.
In some of your videos.
Oh yeah. Super zest monster.
Suddenly, folks started connecting these claims to older rumors. And that's when the whispers about his secret lifestyle came storming back harder than ever. Then there's Orlando Brown.
I'm Prince tonight.
Who has been on camera saying all kinds of things about all kinds of rappers, but this time he threw Busta's name into the mix as someone he supposedly knew behind the scenes in ways nobody expected. Whether people believe him or not, his comments still turned heads because of how bold and detailed his claims were. And if that wasn't enough drama already...
We come from a very homosexual era of hip hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time, her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle.
50 Cent slid in with a few slick comments of his own, dropping subtle shots that had folks saying, hold up, is he hinting at something? Before anyone could even process all that noise, more men started stepping up with their own stories, claiming Busta made odd advances or tried to convince them to hang out in ways that didn't sit right with them. Again, these are claims, but they kept coming in waves. And when that happens, the internet never stays quiet. People started saying the issue wasn't about who anyone is interested in. It was about how certain men in the industry act tough on camera, but move in very confusing ways behind the scenes, especially when anger and aggression show up in the mix. And speaking of aggression, the internet doesn't forget. There are multiple clips of Busta snapping on women for doing almost nothing. Like the time a fan lightly touched him and he reacted by throwing a drink and yelling like something outrageous had happened. People asked why he seemed so irritated around women but so comfortable around rooms full of men in VIP sections. Folks in the industry had apparently been whispering about this for years, but now everything is spilling into the open, and the timing couldn't be more chaotic. So people started asking, what exactly did Orlando Brown say? And what did 50 Cent really hint at? Did Busta Rhymes actually cross a line with anyone? Or are these just old stories resurfacing at the worst possible moment? Let's break it down piece by piece because the history here goes way deeper than folks realize. Back in 2006, Busta made headlines after a male fan supposedly tapped him on the shoulder to show love and say congratulations. According to the New York Post, Busta snapped and used a harsh slur before turning to his bodyguard and saying he didn't like those types of men, which shocked everyone around him.
He put out those pictures of the dude pulling his pants down, and it looked like some gay act that was going on. He got on the phone. He said, let me tell you this. When I get back to New York City, if she's on the radio station, he's talking to a radio executive. He said the same thing he said, nobody that I deal with, nobody that I know is gonna do anything with y'all, no business at all. It ain't gonna be no artist, no nothing gonna come. He's telling people that at a radio station. When we got back to New York City, Wendy Williams was in Philly at a new station.
Wow.
That's the power he had.
Then in 2007, when a journalist asked about homophobia in hip-hop, Busta shut the whole question down and walked out of the interview saying he didn't support anything outside of what he represented culturally. That reaction stayed in people's minds for years because it was so sharp and defensive. And when someone reacts that strongly in public, you already know the rumors behind the scenes get louder. By the early 2000s, whispers about Busta's private life were already floating around the industry, and someone who helped amplify them was Wendy Williams. Long before she became a TV legend, she became known for dropping raw, unfiltered insider gossip straight from callers who claimed they had receipts. And one of those names that supposedly came up was Busta Rhymes. There was even an alleged caller who said Busta punched him right after an intimate moment and told him to stay quiet. Again, allegations. But the story spread like wildfire because Wendy's show back then had a cult following that never missed a single detail. That recording was reportedly wiped from the internet later, but Wendy's longtime listeners still swear they heard it. Wendy also pulled similar claims about Diddy, saying she had photos of him in questionable situations.
Shout out to Wendy Williams, the first woman to uncover the homo thugs. That's what these down low bitches was called when Wendy first started talking about it in the 90s, the homo thug. She talking about Diddy.
And then what's the stuff that's happening with Wendy Williams? Do you think this is all connection too?
Of course. They've been waiting. He's been waiting. He was waiting for Kim. Remember? He was waiting. The casket was ready. She was literally casket ready.
And according to industry insiders, when Diddy found out, he supposedly used his influence to get Wendy off New York radio, forcing her to rebuild her whole career in Philly. That story has been retold by multiple insiders even today. Jaguar Wright recently brought this back up, saying Wendy was one of the first people to call out what she described as homo thugs in the industry.
Let me finish. This is the father of the joint venture deals, the label deals, that's right, the production deals. That's right. This is the father. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm big up Dallas Austin because we pulled this all up. But when he did it, it was the complete shifting of the climate. We've never seen it before. The same way, there's been a lot of greatness after. They added to the floors of the skyscraper. He designed the foundation for that skyscraper.
Men who wanted the image of being tough while living secretly behind the scenes. According to Jaguar, these weren't just private situations. She claimed there was intimidation and pressure involved, making it harder for anyone to speak up. People also point to how close Diddy and Busta were back in the day. There are photos of them together in the 90s and 2000s, looking tight with the whole industry squad. Some even say they allegedly shared the same type of company, although nobody has ever confirmed that publicly. The timing gets even stranger because Busta was still hyping Diddy up as late as September 2023, just weeks before Cassie filed her lawsuit and everything in Diddy's world came crashing down. Jaguar Wright also claimed that the men Wendy exposed back in the day used intimidation to protect their reputation. And when you look at Busta's history, people say the aggressive behavior lines up with those older accusations. He has multiple incidents involving violence towards both men and women that go all the way back to the 2000s, suggesting a pattern of anger boiling over. In 2006, Busta allegedly put hands on a man who spit on his car, Later that year, prosecutors tried to hit him with a weapons charge after finding a whole machete in his vehicle. Then in 2007, he was arrested again, this time for allegedly assaulting a former driver during a money dispute. He eventually took a plea and got probation, but the back-to-back cases made people wonder what was really going on behind the tough exterior. And just when he seemed to be past the legal troubles, 2009 came around and reports claimed Busta had to pay $75,000 to a fan after another incident that went too far. Every time something like this came up, the rumors about his personal life got louder because the claims of violence, secrecy, and anger were lining up in a way people couldn't ignore. When you mix old allegations, industry whispers, sudden anger toward women, claims from past employees, and random hints from other celebrities, it creates a picture that's hard for fans to make sense of. Some say Busta is misunderstood, others say he's hiding something, and many believe the truth is somewhere in the messy middle. But one thing is certain, the stories aren't slowing down, and with more people coming forward every year, the internet is keeping its eyes locked on every move he makes.
I've seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before.
Oh, yeah.
In some of your videos.
Oh, yeah. Super zest monster. For sure, bro. That's my thing, bro. Like, this been common knowledge, though. Like, all my promoter homies would always say, man, you know, we gotta bring some, we gotta bring some, what they call them, I'm not gonna say it on here. They call them fun boys. They'll say, we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Cause you know, I bodyguarded for Ghostface Killer before, you feel me? And being around him, you hear things, you feel me? I'm like, damn. And my auntie like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan, you feel me? Like every cookout she playing it, all his little fast rapping, all of that, him and Craig Mack playing that.
When that fan came forward talking about what allegedly went down between him and Busta, the whole situation sounded like something straight out of a wild industry rumor reel, except this time the rumor had a name, a face, and a payout behind it. According to him, Busta completely lost his cool just because he tried to leave the show early, and that moment set off a chain of behavior that people had quietly whispered about for years. The fan claimed he wasn't even there specifically for Busta. He had actually come to see another performer, Fabulous.
Bro, on my soul, I'm out with a group of people. At this time, I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him?
No, I never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin, and the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. So it was a little lawyer guy that was with us. And the little lawyer guy we was with, you know, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. Well, I know he was in the little group. So if I go out with somebody, like a group of people, I try to make sure everybody get there together and leave together. No, he stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, bro. For sure, bro. You ain't never heard about this before, have you? Bro, this common knowledge, bro. Like, if you in the mix, bro, if you in the mix, like I've been in the mix, you know this.
But since Fab never hit the stage, he decided to head out once Busta wrapped up his set. When he stood up to leave, Busta supposedly wasn't having it and hit him with a sharp, "I'm not good for you."
So, I hear somebody say, "Oh, he's cute, I want him." So when I heard that, I turned around like, man, did he just say that? Man, you got all this jewelry to attract some men in here? You wild. Shocked me. But sure enough.
And that was the guy that Busta Rhymes pulled back?
He pulled him into the section. Pulled him into the section, and then they walled him off like this man. I'm like, damn. And that little dude was so happy. He couldn't believe that. He was shocked.
Which made the whole situation feel tense before it even escalated. The guy said Busta snatched a water bottle and splashed him once, then threw 2 more bottles before things got even more heated. And one of Busta's bodyguards allegedly punched him in the face. And for what? According to the man, all he did was try to walk out at the end of the show, but suddenly he found himself at the center of chaos he never expected to be part of that night. Eventually, the fan took the whole thing public and told the New York Post what happened.
How long has it been like this known about Busta Rhymes?
Well, I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
How come you think nobody else speaks up on it or says anything?
Because, bro, these people admire these people so much. They want to make sure they in the section, they at the club, they at the video shoot, they can get backstage. That matters most to them. That matters so much to people. It's crazy. Like, but if you notice, like, it's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. This girl touched him one time, he go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section. That ain't weird to nobody. I'm going to the bar, sorry. Text me if it get dangerous. But there's all this club security in here, like nothing's finna happen. Nobody wanna kill you guys, bro. Like, when I get jobs from people who really got a threat on their life, I move way different. Nobody wants to kill these entertainers like that, bro. Like when I do my threat assessment, there's never an immediate threat or danger. It's never a situation that they're gonna tell me, oh, this person wants to murder me, this person wants to bring harm on me.
Especially after Busta agreed to a $75,000 settlement, a number that made everyone stop and realize just how messy the situation might have been behind the scenes. And this wasn't even the only example of Busta's temper making headlines, which is why people started connecting this to all the other stories floating around about him.
So, I'm walking, New York City, you know, going to a club. It was Halloween weekend, you know, everybody was out. And it was this party we was going to, me, my boy, and his friend that had came in from Detroit. Friend that had came in from Detroit. And I'm walking across the street and Busta Rhymes just grabbed my hand. And he holding my hand. Now I ain't know it was Busta at first. You know, Busta Rhymes tall. I'm sure I came up to about right here. So the first thing I noticed was this big ass flip mode chain that was blinding me. So I look at the chain and I'm like, and I look up, I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up? Now he holding my hand the whole time. I'm like, what's up, man? He like, what you doing? And I was like, oh, me and my people, we about to go to this club around the corner. What's up, man? You know, and then I noticed throughout my peripheral vision, the side eye, this big bodyguard in black. Just standing there, you know, looking around, you know, looked at me, you know, still looking around. Meanwhile, Busta still got my hand in his hand.
Because once Busta's former bodyguard, Big Homie CC, jumped on the scene spilling details about what he allegedly saw during the years he worked around the rapper, everything suddenly lined up with a picture that industry insiders had whispered about but never said out loud. Big Homie claimed that Busta had a pattern in clubs, and according to him, it wasn't the usual rapper behavior people expected. He said promoters always seemed to know exactly what Busta wanted in his VIP section.
There's a lot of things that will make you buckle, bro. They make you buckle, bro. People done lost their families, bro. People done lost their kids and shit. A lot of stuff that happened.
Life insurance policies out on rappers. Mainly because it's more dangerous for rappers nowadays.
I mean, this is a touchy subject. I just, you know, I'll give you this. You can willingly turn woman and have a bag, or you can do what I'm doing. You can willingly turn trans, or you can get in trouble and go to jail and get stuck, and they do it to you forcefully because you f***ed up and you didn't know what to do.
and that certain types of young men were quietly being lined up and escorted into that space before Busta even arrived. Big Homie called it common knowledge, which is why his description of Busta as a super zest monster had the internet in shock, not because it came out of nowhere, but because it finally came from someone close enough to have actually seen things. Big Homie even shared a night that stuck with him for years, when he walked into a club with model Don Benjamin and another friend who happened to be openly gay, and said Busta immediately focused on that guy as soon as he spotted him. According to Big Homie, Busta went straight for him, pulled him through the ropes into his VIP section, and basically made it clear the man was staying with him for the rest of the night. He said he overheard Busta say, "Oh, he's cute, I want him." And the second he heard that, he realized this wasn't some random moment. This was familiar behavior that people in the industry already knew about. Big Homie mentioned that the guy looked thrilled, almost shocked, like he couldn't believe Busta Rhymes had singled him out that aggressively. And Big Homie didn't stop there. He added that Busta often seemed irritated with women in a way that didn't make sense, allegedly snapping at female fans or overreacting to small gestures that most artists wouldn't care about. He said it almost looked like Busta had some kind of resentment toward women just for being women, which added another layer to the rumors surrounding him. But Big Homie wasn't the only one with a story. Other men have stepped up with their own experiences.
One of the big things that made its rounds all over the internet, went completely viral, was some things you had to say about Diddy.
Oh yeah.
And there was also, shortly after that, there was an old video that was kind of going viral. And it was 50 Cent, and where he says he was at a party with Diddy. And he was mad at Diddy because Diddy offered to take him shopping. And he felt like that was only something like you would do for a female.
He's a nice guy.
One story from 2020 came from a man named Trip Alley, who claimed Busta grabbed his hand out of nowhere in New York City during Halloween weekend and refused to let go while inviting him into his VIP section for the night. Trip said he thought it was normal celebrity hospitality until he noticed the bodyguard watching closely, almost like he was making sure Trip didn't pull away. Trip admitted he was excited at first. After all, it was Busta Rhymes. But everything shifted when he got into an argument with his friend who warned him the situation didn't feel right. That argument turned into a full-on fight, and Trip said afterward he was too shaken to even go to the club, which turned out to be a blessing considering everything people now say about those VIP moments.
Made love. We made love.
Who you made love with?
Me, Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you seen Busta in the airport too. That one from China, he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
And what's that name? Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Usher. Usher's a gusher. And
why you not naming no hoes?
I'm telling you, bro. It's my dad's friends. My dad sent his best friends on me.
Who's your dad? Busta.
Then came 2021, when paparazzi photos surfaced of Busta allegedly leaving a pride event with a trans woman, and the speculation rose again. Fans started saying the quiet part out loud, that Busta was possibly living one life in public and another behind closed doors. But the real issue wasn't who he might be attracted to. It was the aggression, secrecy, and alleged mistreatment tied to those encounters. And just when people thought the conversation couldn't get any more chaotic, Orlando Brown jumped back into the spotlight, dropping claims that he had allegedly been involved with multiple artists, including Busta, Diddy, and others. People brushed him off at first because of his unpredictable behavior over the years, but now, with bigger artists facing real investigations and lawsuits, folks are starting to wonder whether Orlando was saying something deeper in those chaotic interviews. Orlando spoke about rappers who took advantage of him. And while he mixed heavy topics with unpredictable comments, some parts of what he said had people giving side-eye instead of laughter. He even mentioned feeling pressured in certain situations during his childhood career, which made people wonder if he was speaking from trauma more than exaggeration. And with all this swirling around, leave it to 50 Cent to slide in with jokes that only added fuel to the fire. When he posted that old picture of Busta in the bright yellow outfit, fans immediately connected the joke with the allegations. And even though Busta clapped back with, "Hey, I edited photos," fans weren't laughing. They wanted answers. People commented things like, This has been known for years, and others suggested disturbing rumors about alleged mistreatment toward male escorts, which made everything spiral even faster. Some even pointed out how Busta's behavior toward women in public fit a larger pattern that people ignored for too long. At the end of the day, these are allegations, claims, and stories from different people, but the number of voices piling up is making the conversation impossible to ignore. Whether these stories are exaggerations, misunderstandings, truths twisted over time, or real experiences kept quiet out of fear, the pattern is what has everyone talking. So now the big question lands on the viewer. What's really going on behind the scenes with Busta Rhymes, and how much of this is rooted in truth versus rumor? Because with every new story surfacing, people are starting to rethink everything they thought they knew about one of hip-hop's loudest, most recognizable legends. Let me know your thoughts below and tap subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of this messy story.